well, excited to get a win, be 2-1. I think that's 10 straight on the road in the regular season, so it's always good to get a road win. Really sloppy most of the game offensively, but definitely early in the first quarter and a few minutes into the second quarter. Picked it up in the second quarter, and then third quarter, not the start we wanted, but then picked it up a little. But credit our defense, man. Gave up 3 points on the first turnover. They gave up the 1 touchdown drive, and other than that, we're pretty good. Held them to 50 yards rushing, 0-13 on third and fourth down. Really proud of them. A lot of sacks late. We pressured more, but didn't have to every time. They just did a nice job. You get down 10-0 on the road, a lot of momentum, and they never score again. Gave us a chance to just slowly get back in the game and take control of the game. So we got to be a lot better next week, but we got to win, and we're excited to be going home with a win.
You mentioned the start, sloppy, out of sorts, whatever you want to call it, and then right before the end of the first half, you got the 2 scoring drives to take the lead. What changed in those last few minutes of the second half?
We just settled down and started playing. We were running basic plays early in the game, and everybody was going to think about the interception or Romelo's fumble, but we're running base plays and not blocking the defensive tackle or not blocking the defensive end with our tight end or quarterbacks taking a sack out of the pocket. Just a lot of really uncharacteristic, poor execution is what I would say. I think it wasn't that we weren't playing hard, and poor execution is going to lead to a holding penalty, a hands to the face penalty. I love the fact we're trying to be physical, but you can't crack block anymore. You go in and knock a guy out, they're going to call a penalty on you. So you get 10, 15-yard penalties, it's hard for anybody to maintain a drive. And so first 2 drives, it was turnovers. After that, it was penalties, and we just kind of kept getting in our own way. And not good football.
There were multiple times throughout the game where players were slipping pre-game. It was very hot on the field. Does this feel like the example and the reason why you guys switched to grass?
I think so. And look, I talked to Ryan before the game. They were slipping some too, I think, but they at least practice out here. This is their first game on this turf. It's new. It's the new field turf that it's a lot softer than the old turf. It doesn't have the black rubber fibers, so it's supposed to be better long term. But early on, as in like the first year you have it, it's known to be really slippery. And as you can see, it was a slip and slide. Running back slipping, receivers slipping, and so obviously that makes guys play tentative a little bit, but that doesn't have anything to do with some of the sloppy execution. But our guys, by halftime, I felt like we were settling in on how the surface played, and hopefully we didn't lose anybody too seriously because of it. And we're both playing on the same surface, but it's just the uniqueness of this kind of new field turf.
At this point in the season, 3 games in, do you kind of still expect some of those execution things early in the game, or do you hope that'd be cleared up a little bit?
Well, we didn't have them last week. I think in the last 6 quarters we had 5 penalties. Today we had 12, so the stats tell me. It was a complete flag fest. So, no, I don't expect that. It's not acceptable. There's no excuse for it. Every now and then you're going to get a hustle penalty. You may be bang on the quarterback and they call late hit, or you may go in and knock the dog out of the safety. And in football today, they're going to throw a flag if it looks like a physical hit. But to whether the band's playing during the drive or not, to not snap the ball or to not line up on the ball on a formation, get a long run called back, to line up off sides twice, that's inexcusable. So, that's bad football.
One of your touchdowns today went to R.J. Maryland, and you've talked about his progress through the rehab process. Obviously, he's been with you this season. Does his touchdown mean a little more simply because he had to reach for it and it was a little bit of an awkward catch? Is that another marker in his comeback?
I think it gives him more confidence. It started with we're down 10-0 and we call a play action to start a drive, and he's the third read, and Kevin gets to him and he makes a big play for a 15-20-yard catch, gets popped. It kind of helped us get that drive started to go score and get some momentum in the game. So it's good to see him get in the end zone. I think it's been when we were coming into the season, we were hopeful that we'd have him back by conference. Anything we got before then, we knew would be a bonus. The fact that he's been able to play in every game, he's healthy. He's getting closer and closer to 100%. I think he's gaining confidence. So it's a big step for us. We need him to get back to 100% because he's a really good football player. And I think him scoring and just contributing again today is a big step for that.
Coach Missouri says new to this level. What stood out to you about the way they played?
Ryan does a great job. They're really well coached. Defensively, they're not complicated. They're sound, though. You can tell he had them ready to play. Early on, we weren't running the football very well. He did a really nice job of just kind of winning the line of scrimmage for the first quarter and a half. Then we took it over, but still it wasn't easy. And I thought they did a nice job in the secondary. They mixed the looks up and up, but just staying back and making us throw the ball underneath, not letting us get behind them. And, we didn't have a lot of explosive plays, and that's the name of college football. And if you don't have a lot of explosive plays, you can see either execution gets poor, penalties happen, and more likely you're going to get off the field. So I think he does a great job there. And then offensively, I mean, Jacob Clark's a really good quarterback. He's from Rockwall. Got a lot of respect for him. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year in Conference USA.
Jalen Cooper had another great game. What can you say about his performance, and then also a potential injury update on him?
On Jalen Cooper? I'm not aware of any injuries to Jalen Cooper.
Okay.
So I'm not saying he's not, but no one ever told me he was. I know we put Carterius some in late, but Carterius was going to be rotating anyway, so I'll have to get back to you on that. But I mean, good. I mean, he made a big catch early in the game. They played man. Kevin hit him on a go ball down the field. A couple big third down catches, I think. So, you know, he just then we throw a glance and it goes through his hands, you know. So it's some of that being a freshman, but man, he's for a young guy in the first 3 games, he's shown a lot of maturity. When Jordan went down, being thrown in there, and I'm really proud of him. I think you can see he's just going to keep getting better.
You made the switch at kicker. What did you see in practice this week that led to that, and what did you think of Sam today?
Yeah, I know he missed the first kick wide right. Did a great job on the kickoffs, made the extra points, didn't give him any other opportunities. Look, it's never easy. We love Colin. Colin's done so much for us here. He's still a big part of our team. We're going to kind of take it week to week right now. It wasn't just last week. I mean, it was fall camp. It was a little bit last week, and then, you know, we decided this week to open it up. And I mean, he kicked better throughout the week. So he was kicking with more confidence. The data will tell you he won the job for the week, and so that's how we went. We may do the same thing again this week, but you know, I know how hard Sam works at it, so I know he's upset about missing that one.
You had a number of moving parts on the offensive line today. I know you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but do you get a sense of how some of those combinations worked when you move people around?
Most of it was guys being banged up today. I know the first few drives we put Zion in at left tackle because we were making a lot of mistakes that were hurting us. And I think he played quite a bit. I think he played pretty well, but I'll have to watch it. You know, Logan Parr got dinged up last week, so Nate Anderson ended up playing a lot this week. That was probably the most reason for that. Obviously, PJ kept getting nicked up. It was good to have Chamblee back. So that's really was the reason for most of it, was just guys were not 100%. So I think Garen was just shuffling, trying to keep guys fresh and keep the best 5 out there. So I think we feel good about who we have and who should be playing, and we'll have to see who's available health-wise this week, and that'll probably determine who plays this week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.